What's this get, about -6?
About that, yeah.
Sounds like the freaking dream to me. Big group of buddies, tagged out tour, traveling all over the place, praying to God that this bus doesn't break down.
Going home.
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Oh my goodness.
The time has finally come and we are on our way to Nebraska. Unfortunately, within 100 miles of leaving the shop, we blew a tire and let's say things got a little western. By a miracle, we were able to recover, and after 5 long hours on the side of the road, we were back in business, headed to Nebraska. As you can imagine, we had some last minute supplies we needed to grab, so we made a pit stop at Shields. We talked to some of the employees and left feeling real good about Nebraska.
Huh? What do I think? I think Garrett Skillett is a fine young man. I think he has just instilled a little confidence in us that we may smoke a giant. We may kill a big one.
There's Nebraska.
Giants.
What was that?
Giants.
We went to Walmart and then came out to start the bus and it ain't start, so we're gonna hit the starter with the hammer. Hopefully that knocks it free. We're getting power to it, so it's not an electrical issue. So
real loose terminal. I'm not sure if that's the problem. Tighten it up or not. But it could possibly be.
We're hoping that's it.
Yeah.
Because if not,
Maybe the starter. It acts like it's the starter, but there's a loose terminal.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
after a minor repair in the Walmart parking lot, we finally arrived at our campsite with about an hour of daylight to spare. So we went scouting. Cooking dinner for the first time. Got a few Axis deer burgers. Shout out to my father. Cooking over the fire. It's a little rainy, but we're getting them done.
It's probably not. It's round Pope and Young. It's probably on under.
Shooter. What that is that? There's
115.
We just drove probably 30 minutes from our campsite to this piece of public out here in Nebraska, and we saw one pretty good buck, but he was on private. We're about to head into this pretty cool piece of public up here and walk around for a while and see what we can see.
Oh, I've been hunting with my dad since before I can remember. He would always take me, and I'd sleep on the floor of the blind and stuff like that. And shot my first buck when I was 13 years old, and I've been obsessed ever since. That was the ultimate bonding experience for me and my dad. You know, I grew up really close to my family, but really especially close to my dad because we hunted nearly every single day of season together, and he's actually kind of the first one in the family to really get into it.
Tree on that steep bank, and it broke, and I kind of had to make a quicker descent than I would have liked to, but we're all good now. I'm here.
Well, that's where we can hunt. That corner is the only corner we can really hunt.
There are 5 positions on the tagged out tour at each location. We have 2 hunters 2 camera operators, and 1 camp host. The hunters are responsible for completing the challenges during that leg of the journey. The camera operators are responsible for getting everything on film, and the camp host is in charge of camp life. Once the 2 hunters are tagged out or the allotted time ends, that leg of the journey is complete, the struggle bus moves on to the next location, and the hunter positions rotate.
While the boys were out scouting, I took advantage of the opportunity to do some fishing. As you can imagine, sitting at camp all day gets real old real fast.
Little guys are progressive. Ain't no redfish like back home, but it's kind of fun on the pop and fly.
Truck road, so we're gonna have to kind of go with what we can get. Get it as tender as I can in the center, leave it, you know, partially red, but I need as much of that blood and fat kind of render into the base of that. With the, once it's seared both sides, I'll take it out and I'll dice all it up, and then I'll remove all the thyme and the rosemary out of there, leave everything else. I'll take it out, throw it over. Just all you need is the fragrance to just kind of accentuate the broth. And then you're going to take heavy whipping cream and whatever kind of flour you like, but I'm doing it a little fancy for Grayson tonight. Big old dozer running that or a excavator or something. Plus the trains, man. Might sound like a 4-year-old, but I think a train blowing its whistle at night, like way off in distance in like up the country, I guess. Probably one of the most like nostalgic things ever. My earliest memories when it comes to hunting, I honestly were probably running beagle dogs with my dad. He deer hunted my entire youth, so I killed my first buck whenever I was 8 years old with my dad. And then as I got older, he's like my big brother, David Miller, got me into bow hunting. He was all over from there. I killed my first buck with a bow. That's a story within itself.
Dinner. Look at that. That's a solid catfish right there. The Florida boys know how to do it now. Yeah, buddy.
We are happier than a bunch of Boy Scouts.
Tornado in a trailer park.
Yep. We just got access to a dandy of a spot. At least it should be a dandy, since there was a 214-inch deer killed off of it last year. 200-acre tract, and we're gonna go check it out. We just met a farmer. He gave us permission to go there. Great guy.
If you want any advice on how to get permission on land, that's kind of a big thing, and I never really understood it. Maybe it's because I come from Nebraska. A lot of times farmers are more than happy just to sit and talk with you. So if you just strike up a conversation with them, talk about deer hunting, 7 out of 10 times you're gonna get permission if you want to.
We have this where he pointed and he said, right there is the #1 killing spot. He said,
You see that draw right here straight ahead of us, like the ditch between the corn and the road?
yes.
That's her fawn.
That's your fawn. That's a big fawn.
Yeah, I think if it's anything, it's a yearling.
That's what you said last night. It has
Well,
spots on them.
well, I didn't. I thought there. Another one, a third one.
Yep.
No, the one behind that looks like a fawn.
Okay, you got me on that one, bud.
There's like two things look like ears. It's a deer that's bedded down on the other side of the creek.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Creek, pond, alfalfa, alfalfa.
Helps to make connections with locals. Usually they're good people.
I mean, it's like a 1.5 inch split between the teeth. That's like, I mean, if I was back home judging it, I'd say it's a 4-year-old deer. That's a big track.
It's been past couple days.
Just found that in that little buck bed. Little.
Yeah, that ain't a little one.
Little.
Tee-hee-hee. We're gonna go kill a mooner, boys.
Today's not season.
We're gonna go scout a mooner, boys. Forgot.
Just came out here to a piece of private that Caden and Dallas scouted last night. They saw a small buck on this property actually, and then a really big buck pretty far away on private. So we're at the same spot. We're gonna class again tonight and see if we can't figure out what we're gonna do for the opener tomorrow morning. Alright, so we've been classing here for a while. It's almost dark now. And golly folks, these deer, you can see them for a split second. Like but these, good thing is these are the only deer we've seen that are not on ag. So at least we have we can get into the trees and hunt these deer. So I have a really good feeling about this spot. It's only gonna matter if we see them when we're sitting in the saddle, bow in hand. So right there.
Oh my God!